Celestial blessings. My name is Helen Demetriou, and today I'm going to talk about something that not everybody is going to understand. This is more for those who are more advanced in their spirituality, more enlightened with the craft and with the gods, with the communication with the gods and relationship with the gods. If you understand it, that's fine. I'm just saying that some of this may go over some of your heads, and that's okay. Everybody's at different stages of their learning. Now, I'm always learning. People say to me, "You're so wise, Helen, you're so enlightened." But my answer is, believe me, I'm still learning. Things shock me and surprise me, and I find myself many times in situations where I feel that the gods have abandoned me. Now, the goddess descends many times in her existence, and each time that she descends, she must learn that she is a goddess. And sometimes she must make things happen herself and not rely on any other being, natural or supernatural, for she has the power. She has the ability to dismantle and create her world. Now, this is my lesson. I'm talking about myself, because I am the goddess, and I have to trust in the divine, which is myself. There are times on your path where you will feel that you are abandoned by the gods. Places where you become so desperate for help and guidance, and you feel that there is no deity around you. Your matron or your patron god or goddess is not around you, and they don't seem to be listening to you and your pleas. And there are reasons why the deities, they leave you alone. And one of the biggest reasons is because you have to learn that you yourself are divine, and you yourself, your soul, is divine. You are a god or a goddess on earth, and you can do for yourself through spiritual work, through the etheric, just as much as the gods can. And there are many times that they will leave you alone, and they will not help you, because you have to do it for yourself, and you have to understand your own power, and you have to use that power, and that you can't rely constantly on them for help. And it's just been these past few days that I've been in that situation once again. You may have seen my descent videos where I descended, as Inanna descended to the Underworld. And there are times where I feel I'm on a constant descent into the Underworld. Now, don't think of the Underworld as being hell with flames. Yes, there is a place where there is that kind of thing, that it is a place that is scary and can be dangerous. But the Underworld is the East, and the East is wisdom, and in the Underworld it is a place of learning, and it is a place where you have to face yourself. You have to face all of your negative things. You're alone, and even though you don't realize it at the time, you're in this 3D reality. You're actually walking in another realm, another dimension, that is the Underworld. And that is a time when you are so low and so sad and so desperate for help that is the time when you're in the underworld. You've gone to the east and you've gone for learning and training, because it's something that we have to learn about ourselves. I'd say, and purely without arrogance, that I am a goddess, and I'm here to do things without explaining too much. I've already said everybody's a god and goddess. There are things that I have been given to do in my life on earth. There are contracts that I signed. I made blood oaths to do certain things that is for pure service to the gods, to humanity. I'm not embarrassed to say this because I'm not an arrogant person. And believe me, it's not with arrogance that I say this, because you have to make many, many sacrifices that go beyond earthly laws or contracts to complete certain missions. And everybody comes here with a mission. Everybody comes here with a job to do. There is not one person that comes here for a free ride, for a joyride. Everybody has a mission, a job to do. And most of it, if not 100% of it, is regarding service to humanity and service to the gods, to the divine. You're here to make a difference. And that is why I'm also here. I'm here because I have to do things that make a change in the world. You may not feel it on a big extent, but just know that as above, so below. So whatever is happening above has to happen below. And one of my jobs is to carry out my role below on this earth, to mirror, without saying too much, to mirror the skies, the celestial planets, the celestial bodies. And it is really hard. It is really, really, really hard at times. And I know that there are many of you out there, because I've spoken to many of you in private, who are either the same soul family as me, the same how can I say, the same line, bloodline, who have come here to do things that is going to and is making a difference. Even those who are not in the same soul family as me, they're also here to do something. And we do talk, and you will understand what I'm saying, that it is a big sacrifice, and that it does feel at times that we are abandoned by the gods. And as I said, the reason is to, sorry about the dog, it seems like every time I record something, every dog in the neighbourhood decides to bark. So it is a time of learning. It is a time where we have to understand our own power, and we have to direct that power. You have to take all the negativity that you are feeling, or is even directed at you, or is even in your environment, and you have to transmute it, transform it into something that is workable, and direct that energy, and use that energy, manipulate that energy, change it from being negative to positive, and use it to empower yourself. Because this is what we have to understand, that we are like chicks, we're like birds in a nest, and the mother and the father are the gods, and they kick us out of the nest sometimes so that we learn how to fly, because we're too afraid to go on our own, to make the choice, the decision to jump out on our own and fly. So they kick us out, like we get thrown into the underworld, because we have to learn something, because otherwise we don't willingly make the decision to do that. And I was speaking with one of my very close friends, and they said, I feel that I've been thrown to earth, and many people have said this to me, that they came here without, it was not their free will, without their consent, that they was thrown here. Basically, this cannot happen. This has to be our choice. We make the decision to come to earth for specific reasons. The gods or the divinities or the divine or the creator cannot force us. They cannot force our free will. Nobody is here without choosing to come here. And the only people that think this are those who have not yet discovered why they're here. Because when you discover why you're here, you remember and you understand what you came here for. And to these people, and to many of us sometimes, earth can seem like the underworld. You know, it can seem really difficult to live. And when you are somebody that is very sensitive, and you have come here with a specific duty, job, and you are a certain avatar of a certain god, because you know that I've mentioned this many times, that there are many of us here who are avatars of the gods. And I'll explain to you what that is. Basically, we're like a projection of a god or a goddess. We are a soul in ourselves. If you look at, for example, the Hindu Pantheon and how they have the avatars of their gods, that they reincarnate, the same god reincarnates, has a different name. They're a god in their own right, but they're still they're still an emanation. They're still an avatar of another god. And even our gods are avatars of other gods. But when we come to earth, we incarnate into matter, because the gods cannot be with us on earth, because their vibration is so strong that it would kill us. It would basically kill humans. So they cannot just come here. So what they have to do is they have to incarnate as humans themselves and get the jobs done. And you can imagine how difficult it is for these beings that have incarnated as humans to function okay. For me, I'm used to it, but for many it's very difficult. But that doesn't mean that it's easy or easier for me, or for many who are like me, or anyone basically who is on this path and has a close relationship with the deities. There have been many of us that we've been to this underworld, even we're in this 3D reality, and it is to seek understanding and learning about ourselves, because it's the only way we're going to learn who we are. And it is the only place that we resurrect ourselves, like the goddess Inanna, like Jesus, but what am I talking about? The goddess resurrected Jesus, just as she resurrected Dumuzi and Marduk and Tammuz, and I don't need to go on. Oh, Osiris. But we have to resurrect ourselves and empower ourselves and learn about our power. And we have to understand that we are the creators. We are the destroyers. We can destroy and begin again. We can destroy ourselves, but we can always begin again and rebuild something that is more powerful and more stronger than we were before. So this is what I wanted to talk about, a little mishmash of different things about self-empowerment. So thank you for listening. Have a fantastic day. I love you very much. Bye-bye.